groan in woe. Don't forget we told you so. Happy birthday! Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
Oh my God.
Candygram for Mongo. Candygram for Mongo.
Candygram for Mongo.
The Stooges.
Holy shit.
I'm pretty stoked about one thing today. London Calling is a British pasty company that do fish and chips too. But the fish and chips truck's not coming here today to our little town. But at 3 o'clock this afternoon, London Calling with their English pasties is going to be here. So I'm looking forward to that. So Lauren and I are going to go over there later, maybe with Brad too. Get some pasties. It'll be yummy. I like British pasties. I really do. So
Pasties or pasties?
Pasties. P-A-S-T.
Pasties is something completely different.
Yeah, pasties are miniature pastries. Instead of like a full pie, you get like it's split, where you take a pie shell and bend it over like a tart.
Yeah, I know. I've
Bend
been
it over
to the
like
UK,
a tart. Somebody clip that.
I've been to the UK.
Somebody clip that. So yes, it's Gary's birthday today too. Who knew? Yes, I'm officially 61 today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gerry. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
He texted me last night at 11:30. His 11:30 said something like, "Yay, I'll be 61 in like 33 minutes." And I'm like, "Is he sitting there watching the clock or what?"
37 minutes or 33 minutes. 33 minutes is what I wrote. And
he's sitting there watching the clock tick away, and then he jumps up, "Yay, I'm older."
So thank you, Tim, for my birthday wish here. I owe you a video here. Where's it at?
By what name are you known?
There are some who call me Tim.
I watched a little making of last night on that movie. It was more behinds than I'd ever seen before, where you got to see some of the outtakes, and you could see some of the reactions of John Cleese. He could be really fucking cranky.
Yeah.
And while trying to do comedy. And that's fucking funny. Because he's standing there and he's trying to do the Tim scene. And somebody was moving around and he's like, could everybody please stop moving around? It's really distracting when I'm trying to remember these lines. Please stop.
That's why a lot of people don't like working with him. He's just a cranky individual. And the only guy who could work with him was the gay weird guy, which was Graham Chapman.
Yeah. Terry Gilliam, who pretty much directed the whole film, the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And the scene where he's doing the Frenchman is so fucking funny. I mean, it really is. And again, he kind of snaps at Terry Gilliam. And he says it in the nicest way. It's like, how can you sound angry and also polite? And John Cleese nailed it. He says, "Now I know, old fellow, Terry, I hear you. I know what you're wanting from me, but I'm just letting you know it's not so easy to do it the way you want me to do it when you keep interrupting me." And I'm just like, fucking hell. John Cleese being politely rude.
Does anybody speak weight? Because I have no idea what he is saying here. It's apparently meant to be a breach, but what the fuck does that mean?
Eric Idle used to be my favorite Python until I heard John Cleese's eulogy to Graham Chapman, and now he will forever be my favorite Python.
Oh, he is always going to be mine too. Graham Chapman was the tall blonde one. He was, by the way, he was a surgeon before turning to comedy.
Really?
Yeah.
He always plays the military commanders in it, right?
Yes. Yeah. Stop it! You're just being silly. Graham, he's also Brian in Life of Brian.
Really?
And yeah, my other favorite is because Graham Chapman was like my third favorite. My first favorite is John Cleese. My second favorite is still I just forgot his name. Oh my god,
Michael Palin.
Michael Palin. Thank you. I
Michael
fucking love
Palin.
him. My least favorite is Terry Gilliam.
Well,
I love Terry Jones, and I've always liked Eric Idle because he writes the songs. He always writes the music and songs for the movie, and he's funny. But I think he's a fucking snobbish prick because, like, when you've got John Cleese defending somebody and snapping back at Eric Idle, I think you've stepped over a line, Eric Idle. You know, because he was talking shit about the girl who runs the club organization for them and makes little to no money doing it. And he was just snapping back at her, and fucking John Cleese stepped up and just defended her. And I'm like, oh, well, somebody gets some money on the backside. John Cleese. So
I usually never get into what they do off screen. It's just
you don't want to because it can ruin things for you.
Yeah. But what I said about Cleese is I always loved Cleese's characters and Eric Idle's characters.
Well, the writing
I always went back and forth because Eric Idle has the characters that made me the most like laugh because they're always kind of kooky.
Right.
But the one that seals the deal is that eulogy, because I know it's off, off their movies and off the series, but it's the one thing I can latch onto that just gives it that. I gotta respect that.
Not everybody's seen the eulogy, and you should. It's on YouTube, and it's one of probably the best eulogies I've ever heard in my life. What he said about Graham Chapman.
Yeah,
and Chapman was his best mate, and he just kind of shits on him, then loves him, then shits on him a little more, and that's what I think love is like if you love somebody, you really care about them, you need to shit on them a little bit, even in the eulogy. And I do. But I will tell you also. Last thing I'll say about this is, he's also really the only real actor in that group. He was the most talented as an actor, John Cleese. The second one, of course, is the one I just forgot again. I keep forgetting his name.
Michael Palin.
Michael Palin. He was great in A Fish Called Wanda.
They both.
There you go. Yeah, I love that movie so much. When they did a quasi sequel, which is not a sequel, but it's got the same actors playing characters, was Fierce Creatures. I think it's a funny movie, but I don't think it's anywhere near as good as Fish Called Wanda. Fish Called Wanda is that's a fucking great movie. And but let's get to this. I want to get back to the chat. We got Snorty is here. Hello, Snorty. Let's see. Gambit87 is here. Hello. And for any of you who have said happy birthday to me, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Martin is not here today. He had to do a Brazilian wax.
He might feel that way after he gets done.
I said, I can't count to Brazilian. How much is that?
Oh my God.
Yeah, I got 2 jokes in there out of that. Tom Baker's here. Hello, Tom. How you doing today, buddy? Terry Gilliam, I'm just not into him. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's done some great films. I would have covered The Fisher King on here.
Oh, yeah. Fisher King's my favorite one.
I think it's the best film he ever did. Time Bandits is another classic. I fucking love that movie.
He's done some weird shit, though. Oh, my God.
But he's done some stuff that I'm like, And what I got kind of irritated with him. His reason for not liking the Batman with Christian Bale is because he says all humans are sexually. He's a Freudian, and of course, I immediately not every person is driven by sex drive. That's bullshit. Right. That is why Jung is smarter than Freud, and why Freud's theories all end at puberty. All of his theories end at puberty. So, but don't get me wrong, I love Terry Gilliam's work, and his fucking animation was amazing. But I don't think he's the most talented there. I think that Terry Jones was really talented. And Terry Jones is the one who directed. If I said Terry Gilliam, I meant Terry Jones directed a lot of the film, as well as I think Terry Gilliam had some of the directing. I can't remember who got credit for Holy Grail as director.
Jones.
It was Jones, because I think they both helped a lot. And but a bulk of the work was Terry Jones.
They had shared credit on Life of Brian, I think.
Yes.
And I think they have shared credit on The Meaning of Life, but I don't remember. I know that in Holy Grail, they were both kind of doing their thing.
Yep.
And it made the crew go crazy because Terry Jones left everything in order for the next day. And then Terry Gilliam came in the morning and just wrecked everything. And it just drove the crew crazy. And at one point, Gilliam was like, okay, Jones, just you have it. We're done. And then the next one, it was just so easy for them. So they just bounce off each other. I think, if I remember correctly,
directed portions. They directed portions, and one would do this direction. Like, I think Terry Jones' main function was directing the bigger scenes of the film.
Yeah.
And Gilliam was in charge of some of the more action moving scenes, the scenes with a lot of movement. And I think that's how they did it. But you can see Terry Jones is very dry-witted. And there's a lot more dry wit with Holy Grail, whereas you get a lot of humor, different humor with Life of Brian. And the craziest fucking thing in that movie is the segue, the middle of the film, when he gets abducted by aliens. And that was 100% Terry Gilliam.
Yeah.
Because
if you know Gilliam, he directed that.
Yes. It's clearly obvious he did that. And I love that. But so let me get back. Let's see. I've said hi to everybody that's in the chat right now. Wade.
People are still wondering why they are still wondering why are we talking about Monty Python at all?
Because it's something I love, and I know you guys love it too. It's like,
dude, yeah. Kidding me? Grew up on that stuff. Stayed up late to watch it on Louisiana Public Broadcasting at 10 o'clock at night. While my parents were watching the news, we were watching Monty Python.
I was watching it when I was a kid.
Yep.
Okay, a child. And the Sam Peckinpah version of Upstairs, Downstairs that they did, where the piano closes on the guy's hands and cuts his hands off and blood sprays everywhere. That scene fucking gave me nightmares as a child. But the next week, I was right back watching it. Monty Python, man. That's all I got to say.
So micro Uzis.
Yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Let me play Wade's video.
What up online? Hicks, get yours in accord and watch the rear.
So there's your back door.
Well, people are still wondering how many behinds has Gerry seen, because he said he's seen more behinds than ever.
I'm a combat medic and a paramedic. I've seen a lot of fucking asses in my life. And it lost its thrill to me. I actually love seeing an ass that's covered. That is nice. I don't know what it is. I will stop and I will look at a girl with a big butt. I will do it. I apologize. So I'm not sexualizing. I'm not wanting to go to bed with them. I'm just showing appreciation towards a really well-rounded butt. And
you're saying that you like big asses and you cannot lie?
That's exactly what he's saying.
And the other brothers can't deny.
Your other brothers can't deny?
Yeah, he likes big ass, but then he picks me. Okay.
You have a nice butt, young lady. You really do.
But it's not big.
It's not big, but it's very nice. I like it a lot. I like it a lot.
Oh my God, I'm marrying an elf.
Right answer, Gerry. Right answer.
We broke Mephisto.
I broke Mephisto.
Yeah.
I made myself laugh.
I grew up on Benny Hill too, and Benny Hill was funny, but it was not as funny to me as Monty Python was. The thing that was fun about Benny Hill is he was a naughty comedian, and I loved his jokes. In fact, when I was in London, he did a show on the BBC where it was like an interview show, and he was talking, and he did like one of his jokes that he likes to do in stand up, and fucking funny jokes, man. That guy was fucking brilliant. And people think he died broke, Benny Hill.
Yeah, where did they get that idea? I don't.
Because he lived in squalor. And the fact is, he was a multimillionaire when he died. He just wouldn't spend the money. He was wearing clothes that were disheveled and torn. And then you find out all that money. The problem was, where did that money go? I still don't know what they ended up doing with his estate. I really don't. I have no clue. But he did not die in poverty, like some people believe. A Benny Hill version of Delta Force. I would love to watch. Well, I guess you kind of get a little bit in there with Hot Shots, because it kind of makes fun of Top Gun and other military movies of the period. But I would like a proper parody of Delta Force. And one thing you'll notice while watching the film is Lee Marvin doesn't look good.
No.
Lee Marvin looks frail and thin.
He was sick as
and
fuck.
Yeah, he died within a year. And he had colon cancer, right?
No, an infected colon. He was in pain.
An infected colon.
And then he got respiratory problems later on after this movie, and they gave him stuff, and it basically made his insides explode because they were already so broken from all the alcohol that he was drinking. He was a heavy drinker and smoker. That's what ended it.
Also got Hiroshima'd. Yeah, okay. I got you. I told you the story, right?
I don't think so.
Well, maybe another day. Maybe not on stream.
I mean, the Delta Force sounds like a parody with that ridiculous sound.
Yeah, I was not interested in that movie because, don't get me wrong, I enjoy his stand-up, but I what's his name, the cable guy? I was like, no.
Larry the cable guy.
Larry the cable guy. I just don't think he's that funny. I've been Lee Marvin's grave at Arlington National. Same here. Yeah, I've been there. Yes.
He's right next to Joe Louis, but Joe Louis, 175 years old, man.
Well, Lee Marvin
was come on.
No, you get no laughs for that one, man.
No. That was a funny joke. That's a funny joke.
I don't know anything, so.
That is a movie you need to cover. It's Coming to America.
Coming to America.
No.
Okay. Zachariah 315 is here. What's up, buddy? Oh, look at that.
Oops.
Vinyl Revival. Just resubbed. That's really awesome. Thank you.
That's Christian, by the way, if you don't know.
Yeah.
Yes, I do know. I'm actually close friends with Christian.
Mr. Delorme.
And he's giving us $5 Canadian. Thank you for that.
Yeah, he was wanting me to come on the show Sunday, and I went, nope, sorry, date night. Sundays are bad for me. They're rough for me because I'm hanging out with my woman, and her needs come first. But don't tell her that.
All right.
It's been a while.
I won't.
We agreed that that's the one day where I don't have to share him with meetings and whatever shit he has going on during the week.
No, I refuse to have Malcolm X Day on my birthday. That's annoying.
We need to give Christian a video.
Yes, for the $5. Thank you, mon ami. Let's see.
Give him the Father O'Malley.
I will say it in the friendlier version. I was taught by a French friend of mine to say "Merci bien."
Merci bien. Yeah, you can say both.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. You can't beat this
When
one.
you get in, open the back door. Right. Watch me swing.
He's in the perfect position for the back door, too. Look at this.
When you get in, open the back door. Right. Watch me swing.
Watch me swing.
And the musical cue to that. It's perfect. You're right.
Yeah, I always love the organ incidental music. Bum, 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 ba-da-da-da. It was always playing in the background. Oh my gosh. So we're going to go ahead and start the slideshow now. There it is.
Can we have the music too playing throughout the?
No.
Oh man,
I'm so glad that Anima feels the way I do. I hate the theme in this. It's so bad.
I wanted to cut my ears off halfway through the movie.
Well, I'm such a big fan of his work, you know, and my God, that theme is so bad. And I kept thinking, did they screw him somehow? And because I noticed that there's a guy in charge of music direction in the film. That means he's the guy who cut and pastes the music in. And I do like that they opened this film, by the way, on that incident that Jimmy Carter ordered. And what I don't think they explain in anything, and what people don't know, is that where Delta Force got fucked in this is what was by the people in the chain of command that decided they should use naval vehicles in a desert setting, and they have different filtration systems, and that's what caused the cataclysm. It got those guys killed. Yeah, the first time in a public eye, and it's a big black eye for the military and for Jimmy Carter. If you are, by the way, hi 11 Alpha.
Hi Alpha.
Kyrgyz, happy Mother's Day. If you are American, happy hepatitis testing day. You guys just really know how to rain on a parade today. So they open with the incident, which was Operation. God, I forgot the name of the operation.
I didn't pay attention. I watched it, but I didn't pay attention. I just love the fact that
Operation Eagle Claw was the name of the operation that failed, that Delta Force failed. And it's not their fault. It was Command's fault. 100%.
By the way, there's another thing to this movie you have to realize. First of all, not all of them, but most of the Arabs in the movie are played by Israelis.
Yeah, because it's shot in Israel.
Yeah,
it's an Israel-produced film. Golan and Globus were Israeli filmmakers, and they owned Canon.
Yeah, and they were responsible for I told you about the Israeli Entebbe movie.
Yes,
they did that. And
there's tie-ins to this. They're connected. They are connected
all the way through.
Direct DNA. And some of the elements that you see happen in this film are absolutely taken right out of what happened in Entebbe.
And they actually mixed two different Israeli operations. One of them is Spring Dawn, where they tried to assassinate Yasser Arafat because he was in Beirut at the time. And one of them is Entebbe. And there's a little bit of a mix with another operations that it's unnamed at the moment, but it's very well
I will
known.
also tell you, Delta Force did not get the credit. They were the ones who trained the Egyptian commandos when there was that air flight that was taken in Egypt back in '85.
Yeah,
and they got no credit for it, but they were the ones who trained the commandos how to take that plane back. And here's the thing: a lot of people don't know. Delta Force was pretty much trained and took all of the training from SAS, Special Air Services. And that's why a lot of their combat techniques are very similar. Even though they're besties in the world, but they do shit on each other. SAS and Delta Force will shit on each other constantly, but they're actually closer than you would think as far as friendships go.
Delta Force is Marines, right?
Delta Force, U.S. Army, 75th
It's Army
Ranger Battalion. Yeah, it's Army.
Okay. Why didn't they? I know the name of the movie is Delta Force, but why didn't they use like SEALs? You would
Because
think SEALs
Delta
are
Force
more.
was the big. Delta Force was the big thing. I mean, Delta Force inspired that really, really bad movie Megaforce.
Oh, okay.
Worse than this one?
The new thing ever since 1980 because of that incident. So there were lots of news coverage about Delta. So that was it. And Delta were the commandos best trained for this kind of shit, for doing hostage rescue. Robert Forster is great. Yes, he's the dude in the white jacket playing an Arab in this. Great
Yeah.
fuck.
He had a pretty good Arabian accent. Pretty good. He's got pretty
He
good
actually-
Arabic.
He's
Yeah.
Arabic dialect, and on
Yeah.
top of that, his use of the language was very clean.
I was actually surprised. And they're using, it's weird, but you know, with every different zone in America, you have a different accent. Like in Britain, you have a different zone, different accent. It's sort of the same when it comes to the Middle East. You've got the Egyptian Arabic, you've got the Palestinian Arabic, you've got the Syrian Arabic, you've got the Lebanese Arabic. They were using, I would say, it's called book Arabic. So it's like the stuff in the language that you get in a book rather than spoken language. So we hear talk here like spoken language. You know, we go back and forth. We do a lot of spelling errors, blah, 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 all that stuff. Use words from different languages to supplement. But when they wrote the script, they had to write it in like dialect Arabic. But when the guys talked, they talked in like the book version. So it's a bit weird. Now, nobody picks up on it unless you know Arabic. It's just funny.
After that. So let's see. I paused it because that's Haji Joe Pesci.
Who?
Haji Joe Pesci
Okay.
on screen. That's who that is.
That's a joke.
I didn't get it.
The Haji version.
How
joke.
could you? Do you know what a Haji is?
No.
Okay, it is a military slang term for people from Afghanistan or the Middle East,
Oh,
especially
we call them
combatants.
something else.
Well, American troops refer to them as
Not
Haji.
gonna lie, in military terms, the best way to call it is the dirty, because you can't call it terrorist on the on the comms. So
Yeah, you're not even supposed to say the word that you just said on YouTube, if you didn't know that.
Really.
Bye-bye. Monetization.
I said the equivalent of.
Yeah, but you said terrorist. You said the word.
Oh,
That bad. That's
stop
one
it!
of those
Stop
bad
it!
words.
It's not a bad word.
They
on
don't
YouTube.
like. Oh,
yeah,
they don't like.
those days are
It's
gone.
on the
dude.
list I got. I went and I got the list. The
It's
latest updated
you,
one.
and you
Still
get
on
a
there.
new list. I've said that word plenty of times. Never got hit with nothing.
That's because YouTube's not paying attention to you. they hate me.
It's only in your mind, Gerry.
Oh yeah. That's why I didn't get paid this month. It's all in my head.
And you do
let's
something other than saying that word. Hey, maybe it's Keith. I'm just playing, okay? I'm just joking. It's fine.
Yeah, I cracked a joke the other day that my buddy didn't even understand it when I made the joke. And if I have to explain it to you, it's not funny anymore.
Yes.
But everybody else I told the joke to fucking got it and laughed.
Even I did.
Anyway, so the mother from Who Fucks with the Zohan is in this movie. And and apparently she gets her ring back for no reason. This
not
chick
only gets it back, she gets it licked by Robert Forrester.
Now, the opportunity of not putting something from this movie as a joke in Zohan is a missed opportunity. Let's just say that. But I don't think he wanted any association with this movie at all.
Hey, Sander, how you doing, buddy? No, you're late. You're late.
Eastland is here too.
It's like, oh my, you guys are early.
Oh yeah. So here you go. I'm going to show you something real quick. This is one of the things used in the film that's based on an actual incident that took place a year before the movie. Navy diver Robert Dean Stetham, was murdered by those Helleballs terrorism guys during the hijacking of TW-8 flight 847 on June 15th of 85. He was also a member of the Seabees, and on top of that, they did name a ship after him in the
Good.
Navy.
And yes, you're welcome. We took care of that problem. Few beepers, a few 87.
I like this.
A few 87 tons of bombs. We got it.
Yeah.
By the way, I love
Great
this
operation,
German
by the way.
actress.
Wow.
Hmm?
I said great operation.
No,
using today's technology. Yeah.
I heard what you said, Joe. I was just what Gerry said. I couldn't hear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I was commenting on the actress here that plays the German stewardess.
Yeah.
And she's probably one of the hardest characters to play because she has to really get emotional in a moment, and she pulled it off. This is a B movie, by the way. This is not an A-list movie, but it's got A-list actors in it. You got Shelley fucking Winters. You got three Oscar winners in this film, and fucking Joey Bishop, who's a former member of the Rat Pack, is in this movie. And Martin Balsam, for God's sake. Martin Balsam is in this.
And one of the American ninjas, too.
Oh, yeah, Kung Fu Joe from I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. He's in this. He's one of the Delta operators. He does this thing, I swear to God. If I had ever seen a guy do this to me in the Army, I would have fucked with him later. He gives a wink and a thumbs up to one of his guys. I'm like, I would have asked him later. I said, "Were you hitting on me?" What the fuck was that? A wink and a thumbs up. Like, fuck you, man.
Well, he did jump on a few Jews to save him.
Yes. Oh, man, yeah. He totally fucking dived on top of him, took him to the ground. Only the one dude that was standing when the explosion went off got wounded. By the way, that young lady there, that kind of surprised me finding out who that is.
Who?
That's Kim Delaney, dude.
Okay. I know the name. I don't know where from.
She's in so many shows. Chicago Fire. She was on General Hospital for like a year or two.
Something that I would maybe have seen, Gerry.
NYPD Blue.
Isn't that Dana Delaney?
That's her sister.
Okay. I know the sister.
Yeah, but she's in a lot of stuff too.
Okay.
She's in oh my god, Army Wives, that stupid show. I fucking hated that show. But she was one of the main stars. She was in Law and Order Special Victims Unit. She was in, like I said, NYPD Blue. She's been in stuff for the longest time, man. She's been around
Stuff
since the
and
80s.
things. Yes.
Yeah. She played Jill in Darkman 2, The Return of Durant. Which is a fun movie. That's great.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, if you like The Dark Man, you need to see it. If you don't like The Dark Man, don't bother.
I love The Dark Man.
Never seen any of the sequels to The Dark Man. Just Dark Man.
I saw the first two.
I mean,
I thought he was going to come back, and then. So now Anima had a problem with this. She could not understand how these two guys were able to take this flight. And I said, let me tell you something. Guys with just box cutters took flights on 9/11. Just fucking box cutters.
It weird. They have 3 Marines on board and they don't do anything. One of them suggests.
Well, the big thing, they're not Marines. Down, oh my God, what are you, an Arab terrorist? They're Navy.
Yeah, the Arab terrorists call them Marines. I'm sorry.
Kept calling them Marines. It's no, they just told you they're fucking squids.
They are soldiers and they don't do anything. That's what struck me as weird.
Well, Navy would argue with that, and Army and Marines would argue with that they're not really soldiers. Navy SEALs are boots on the ground. They are. These guys are actually divers for the Navy. We don't know if they're UDT. Because if they're UDT, then you might be able to call them boots on the ground.
They don't necessarily have combat training.
Well, one of them says they're divers.
There's plenty of divers that do like underwater repairs.
All they do is exactly. And that's what these guys, if you just take them at their word, that's what these guys are. And they do not look like combat ready guys to me. Because they get the shit taken out of them.
I mean, a gun is pretty intimidating for a normie person.
If that gun goes off inside that airplane,
it's bad news.
Decompression, it could cause the plane to explode outward. You don't want that. So, yeah, it's just there's a lot of reasons why they do this, and they are taught because they learn every single time they did it how to do the next one better. And the one thing that went against them is you saw one of the long-haired fucking bad guys doesn't make the flight because there was supposed to be 3 on board. It ends up being 2, and they still do they manage to control the passengers and the crew. And I do want to point out too that the captain of this flight is played by one of my favorite fucking actors, Bo Svensson. Best known for Walking Tall 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Is a lot of people don't know this, isn't from America. And you can actually catch a hint of his accent in this movie.
Is he Canadian?
No, he's from Sweden.
Sweden, yeah.
Yes.
The name gives it away.
His name is Bo Svensson.
That's
you are Svensson. I am Ollie. I love her character because she is torn by what they're doing, because she knows the history of Germany with the Jew.
It breaks her when they tell her to collect
she
the
refuses.
Yeah.
She refuses, and they beat her.
Well, she
I can't do
why
this. You don't understand.
She doesn't want to repeat history.
They don't care.
They don't.
Yeah,
care.
they don't care. And one guy even yells it. They killed over. I can't remember the number that she says, but the terrorist leans forward. He goes, "Not enough."
Yep. It's the same guy who later on was like, someday I will go to one of the American cities with a truck full of explosives and destroy a building. And I was like, oh shit. You don't know how,
Yeah, right?
how true that is.
Right?
Just a little bit,
That
a flying truck. Holy shit.
So it's just,
my God.
yes. And that is one. The Delta Force film was inspired by the hijacking of TWA Flight 847. And it is true. And in fact, they wanted to make it TWA, and TWA said no fucking way. So they instead made it ATW.
Yeah, as they said,
same fucking letters. They just inverted it.
They all were. They're like, we have suffered enough PR disaster already. Do not bury us yet again.
What is the U?
And you know what's funny, 11 Alpha, about that? That yes, he was a Marine. He served in the United States Marine Corps, Bo Svensson. But then one of the characters he would play later on was the owner of the bar in the movie Heartbreak Ridge with Clint Eastwood. And he gets, Clint Eastwood just says, oh, I had no idea that was your sexual persuasion. And he goes, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, you get off rousting Marines.
Mm.
And it's like, holy shit, yeah, that's Bo Svensson. Bo Svensson's a big fucking dude. That's why I thought it was a mistake making 2 more Walking Tall films. They
it was
did
dumb.
what they needed to do.
Yeah.
Joe Don Baker said, I'm not coming back. No. Everything that needed to be told was there in that one film. You don't need to tell anything else. And so he never came back. So they got the next best thing to a big guy like Joe Don Baker. They got Bo Svensson to play Buford Pusser. And they're not terrible films. They're not great either. But the first film, no fucking awards. Got no awards. Walking Tall. Everybody loved that fucking movie. It's a huge hit. It grew. It was grassroots growth of people going to see that film because someone told somebody, you need to see this movie. Not one single award for that movie. And it was absolutely Oscar worthy. Yeah, filming started in 85. Shot in Israel. Yeah, we were talking about that.
Yeah.
Gambit, you need to get here earlier so you actually catch the shit that we talk about.
I love it that every single airport that they take off and land is somewhere else in the Middle East, but it's all in Ben Gurion Airport.
Just from different angles, right?
I recognize the skyline because it's the old skyline. Now there's lots of like tall 10-story white buildings that you can see in the skyline today. It's funny as fuck. It's really funny.
Well, first of all, Alpha, that Heartbreak Ridge were Army Rangers, but the Army read the script and hated it and said no. So they went to the Marines, and the Marines said yes. And then they got 3/4 of the way shooting the film, and the Marine Corps went, well, wait a minute. What? No, we're out. They pulled out last minute. I don't know why they agreed in the first place. It's like weird that Heartbreak Ridge had any military involvement because it's a fucking farce. It really is. Don't get me wrong. Clint Eastwood has some great fucking lines in that movie. Why don't you lay there and bleed a while before you taste some real pain? What a great fucking line. But anyway, yeah, that's U.S. Army Rangers. In fact, it's the group with the star and the Indian chief head. I forget which group that is. That's served up there. Alan Silvestri's soundtrack in this is awful, except for when it's like the incidental tension music. But the minute that fucking main theme starts, I swear to God,
and the stupid
it sounds like the beginning of Giorgio Moroder's Flashdance. And it's so fucking annoying. And once I say that, you can't unhear it. Go back and listen to that soundtrack and tell me that doesn't sound like fucking
There's
Flashdance.
nothing rock and roll
God.
about that shit piece of soundtrack.
The mistake that was made is he got shortchanged. He only got paid for so much for that film. And it's the actual music director who did all the copy and pasting of the fucking music in that. And he had music playing when there shouldn't have been any music at all. And you get that yeah, fucking Flashdance fucking drumming. Yeah, don't even get me started on that shit.
I
And
love
there are
that
people like me
score.
I love that score. I love that score. And the first thing I say is, you don't know anything about music. And that's
Oh,
why.
I do. I love 4 bars, which is the entire score.
So
Come on,
bad.
man.
But
Come
no,
on.
there's some great moments with the tension music that Sylvester did in the film that works, because the tension music is more melodic and slower, and it's violins.
Well, what do you want
There's
from
this
Canon
one
Films, bro?
thing-
Come on.
My grandson is a parrot. What's this?
Apparently, he's at that stage where he repeats everything that he hears other people say.
Oh, gotcha.
It's time to invest in headphones, Benny.
That's it. Second infantry. There you go. 11 Alpha. That's who. It's second ID. Second ID is one with the star and the Indian chief on their patch, and it's a fucking awesome patch. And they're also referred to in the Iraq War as the Tomahawks, because they carried the Tomahawks, and those combat Tomahawks are fucking badass. I have them in Vindicated, and he kills 2 guys with the Tomahawk in the book, the first book.
Snorty could be onto something here.
Oh, absolutely, with the porn stash, absolutely. Robert Forster's mustache is great in this movie. The dude that plays the second, his number 2 guy, he's fucking scary in this movie. His intensity is fucking scary.
I forgot. We're on Military Monday.
Yes, sir. He's got the beret on. Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
It's my original.
Oh, that's your service. Oh, yeah.
That is
nice.
my service beret.
IDF.
It doesn't say RDF on it. It says Combat Engineer.
No, IDF, Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah, but it doesn't say IDF on it. It says Combat Engineer. It's a turret with a sword stuck up in its ass.
Nice.
What?
You think I'm kidding, right?
Speaking of
Get it right up to the camera. Let's see this shit. Let's see it.
It's a turret with a sword stuck up in his ass.
I like that.
It really is.
Yeah.
I like that.
It even says my name. See? Well, the number is not my name, but it is my name.
Very cool,
There's another
man.
chick. There's another chick you saw a lot of in the 80s, the bartender. Now, Lee looks good in his uniform. He is also a fucking Marine. And
Not just any Marine, a fucking Marine.
Combat Marine. He is a fucking Marine. He is a combat vet. He was wounded. And I think it was Taipan, but it might have been Saipan. It's one of those beaches. And his entire team was wiped out. He was the only survivor. And they tried to drag him off the beach, and he just begged, "Leave me here to die with my friends." So I consider it a fairly accurate depiction of them, but they really aren't worth a shit fighting in this once it comes to the fight. Now, the funny thing, again, another thing that Danny brought up was, how did they not know that there are more on board the plane when they do that refueling? And I said, well, here's the scary thing, is actionable intel is the intel that you got most recent. And she says, but they got off the plane. I said, yeah, they got off the plane into a fucking bus. They weren't being debriefed yet. So they make a tactical.
I was just surprised that
the senior command makes a decision for them to go in before they've actually had a chance to debrief anybody on the plane, which, they should have called them on that. The team on the ground should have said, wait, we haven't got any new intel. We need to talk to these people and see if anything has changed. How did they know
it's 2 people to begin with? It was guesswork.
Yeah, it was guesswork.
And then the whole bus of terrorists boards the plane and nobody sees them. I found that hard to believe.
Well, they went on with hoods over their heads. And nobody on that tarmac was involved with the rescue yet. There was no friendlies there. It was the only people there at that time outside that plane that would have seen them were friendly to their situation. And I answered your question before about that. So yeah, that made sense to me. What doesn't make sense is telling them to go in there before they have a chance to debrief anybody from that plane. That's one of my beefs.
This is the 80s because that child was naked at one point, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a child. It wasn't nothing sexual. I was just surprised it was there.
Yeah.
And then I remembered this is 85 and nobody cares.
It was hot, so they allowed her to
because it's not a terrible, terrible movie. It's good in so many parts. For me, it goes over the top when Chuck Norris goes rogue.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, you don't do that. Yeah.
It's got a bad rap because it's a canon film, man. That's why it's got a bad rap.
It's got a bad rap because Golan Globus were known for doing shoestring budget films, getting big names, but using often other people, not such great actors, with those big names. So you get some very bad acting in here. Like this young kid, the blonde kid here, not bad. He's not bad. But there's a couple of these guys that are playing the Delta Force operators that are just garbage actors. And Chuck Norris outshone some of the side actors as an actor. Norris.
Which is always a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Chuck Norris outshines you as an actor, you're a bad actor.
You're not an actor, I would say.
But this is where Lee Marvin looks so sickly here.
He looks like
they should have given him. They should have given him something that made his arms look bigger. He looks like he's 80 years old. I'm not shitting you. He looks older than Harrison Ford, and Harrison Ford is in his 80s. George Kennedy, another Oscar-winning actor. Love that guy. And Roger Ebert, I got to tell you, I knew Raj, and yeah, he's kind of right here. That I would give this film, if I gave it a score out of 10, it would be about a 7.5. If it's out of 4, I'd give it 3 tops, maybe 2.5.
No, 2.5.
3. Yeah, right in that area, because I think that it's a story. It's got a good story. I just think that some of it's hokey, especially when fucking Chuck Norris goes fucking rogue. That is as stupid as Matt Damon going outside the wire, and also in Green Zone, and then also in the IED movie where he goes outside the fucking Green Zone. It's like, I'm going to tell you something. Bergdahl is why you learn that you don't do that. You don't go outside the wire by yourself. Only stupid people like Bergdahl go outside the wire. I mean, just fucking stupid. You don't go rogue. You are not coming back. 99.9% you're not coming back from what you think you're doing. And that's why it's such hokey shit. But God damn it, it's Chuck Norris. So you go, fuck yeah. And who wouldn't want a fucking dirt bike with rockets in the front and back?
It's a mortar in the back. A mortar.
Yeah, it's lobbing mortar shells.
If you ever shot a mortar, one shot will just eviscerate the entire bike.
It would blow that freaking.
I know, just blow that bike apart,
man.
right?
Oh my
He
god!
is
that's
Jack
Shirley
Norris
MacLaine.
and MacGyver at the same time.
Shirley MacLaine is an Oscar-winning actress.
Winters.
Best known, Shelley Winters. Yeah, she is best known, really oddly, for a disaster film, The Poseidon Adventure.
Yep.
But she goes all the way back to Streetcar Named Desire with Marlon Brando. She's a big fucking actress, not just fat. She was a big actress as an actress.
By the
Not
way,
just because she's a
Mephisto,
fat actress.
that's the only time I ever wore a beret, and it was in high school.
And that's Martin Balsam in the middle seat, her playing her husband.
I can't see you,
Another
Joe.
prolific
I
actor.
know. When he drops the comment, you'll see it.
I didn't put the comment up.
Click it off. I can't do it. I'm not a producer yet. Oh,
Yet.
I have a very similar picture, just less guns in it.
I'm dead center in the middle. On my
What
knee.
was-
with the
what was
Queen
the
Anne
name?
salute.
What was the name of your rifle?
That was a Springfield Model 1903. The real deal Holyfield. Weighed 13 pounds.
I haven't shot that one ever.
My little scrawny Bucko 5 ass had a hard time spinning that thing around. We won a lot of competitions though because we had real weapons, not that bullshit. You know what I mean? We spent a lot of money on this thing.
We never had any spinning shit because we had an M16 to work with.
Yeah, I hear you.
An M16A1 from like Vietnam.
Right. That's the only time
Yeah,
I've
see
ever
what they did
worn
with
a
the
beret.
logo? I love that. By the way, I forgot to mention, it is at the beginning of this film when you see the C-130 take off with Delta Force after the disastrous explosions of the helicopter and everything. That is a rocket assist C-130. And I thought it was kind of cool that they put that in the film. It gives them the ability to take off on shorter runways.
That was Mama, guys. I gotta go. Be good.
All right.
All right, buddy.
See ya,
Have
Joe.
a good day, man.
Yep.
I'll see you, buddy.
Hasta.
Bye.
Tell us what the score in your arcade was. Oh, man. He left.
Yeah.
I got to pay more attention.
He doesn't do the stupid clicking 3 times that Gerry does. He just closes the browser.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I close the tab.
Yeah. Everything else is a pain in the ass when the show is still going.
I gotta do selection. Let's just say this. This line or this exchange would never exist in a movie directed by non-Israelis. There is no way this whole bit.
So many things in this.
There's no way this bit would even exist in a script like this that is not handled by Israelis. I don't mean Jews, specifically Israelis. They have to. Some of these assholes always put the fucking Holocaust in reasoning in anything. And they don't understand it annoys the entire fucking world. I mean, I get it. I was in Poland, in the camps, what's left of them. So I know. But it's so stupid to shove it down people's throat. But like I said, I've always been an oddball. So just leave your Ford Bronco here. Don't worry. We've packed your gear. Let's go on the plane. Oh, thank you, Captain. It's Major. And don't you forget
Major. And
Oh,
all
my
Chuck
God.
Norris is like, "Oh, I'm getting a bigger paycheck. Nice."
Yes.
Also, just like in the film Entebbe, or the story of Entebbe, they have one of the commandos die.
Yes. Now, in
And-
this is kind of a weird because the leader of the operation is essentially the colonel, right? But he's not. He
Right.
doesn't do anything active. So the active in the field commander is essentially Chuck Norris, right? McQuigley or whatever his name is. But in the role reversal, his second in command gets him rather than him. So you would expect it sort of expect, oh, the leader is going to get it, but no, the second in command is going to get it. And it's so weird because they set it up as if Chuck Norris is going to take the bullet because he's the one that saved the other guy. And now you're going to get, in terms of story, it kind of fits where you get the role reversal on the other end, where the guy who got saved is the one that pulls out his officer, his first, commander, and he either saves him or just makes it on the plane and then he dies on the plane. But
And by the way, Gambit, again, we talked about that earlier. The Adam Sandler connection. Eastland Burkholder's here. What's up?
All right, I'm being called, so I'll be right back.
All righty. So there was a military advisor on this film, an American former, I don't know if he was a Marine or Army, but he did serve in the military. And he served as the advisor for this film. And I did notice that there's quite a few things in this film that the military characters do that are fairly accurate when they show it. The only thing that's goofy as hell, and Meth and I already made jokes about it, is them running around with those fucking Uzis. Just like, no.
Oh, yeah.
No. There's way too much hip firing. Way too much hip firing.
Tom Baker asked, was this movie a hit? No.
Well, yeah, not a huge hit, but it made its money back, plus some. It had a $9 million budget, which gave it about a $1 million marketing at the time, so about $10 million. And they made about 17.76 USA, just in the US.
Lee Marvin
I don't
and
know
Chuck
what they're.
Norris probably were a big reason for people going to see
Yep.
this.
And it was Lee Marvin's last film. He was dead within a year
He died
of making
young,
this film.
yeah.
But it made its money back. I'm not going to say it was a super big hit, but it made its money back. Golan Globus wants to make movies that are going to make money. Yes, that was his actual service beret, because he served in the Israeli Defense Force.
I didn't know you get to keep.
Yeah, I owned all my gear. I lost mine
That's nice.
with the divorce.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, the weird thing is the majority of this cast in this are dead. Bo Svensson's still alive. Chuck Norris is still kicking.
In his 80s.
Yeah. Oh, it was a huge hit on when it came to the fucking cable TV. And I think that's really where it grew in its popularity. And it's a cult classic. It's got a huge cult following. Well, Lee Marvin, a majority of his health issues came from drinking, because he's a heavy drinker.
And smoking.
And smoking. And that's what did him in.
And that's why he
It
looks so
aged
old,
him.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks 20 years older than he is. The guy was only a couple of years older than what I am now.
He's 1 year older than you in this movie. 1 year. He looks 20 years older.
So the Lebanese minister, the actor's name is Jacob Cohen, but nobody calls him Jacob. It's called Jacques. The weird part is he speaks fluent Arabic, and there was a show here because back in the day when they actually did try to integrate the Palestinian society or parts of it into Israeli society, they had lots of shows that are like completely in Arabic, and they were fun. So the entire show was like a restaurant, and it was the restaurant as if that guy, that minister guy, was the head, the owner, and the rest of the maitre d's were all like the Three Stooges. It was funny. It was hilarious. I didn't understand anything, but it was hilarious.
By the way, 11 Alpha, I was in the first group that those berets went out to everybody, and a lot of us didn't like that. We didn't like wearing the berets. We felt that that was distinct for special forces and shouldn't be worn by regular army. And I was grateful with the unit that I went to. Didn't have to wear my dress uniform ever the whole time I was there. All I wore my BDUs, and don't have to fucking wear that fucking beret. I just, so many of us
What
were
does BDU
against that.
stand for?
What is what?
BDU, what does it mean?
Basic duty uniform.
Okay.
They call them ACUs now.
We got the berets from the British Army. We
Ours were
modeled.
stolen from our own special forces, and that's what pissed a lot of us off. It's like, you know, I like this character here. He's with the Mossad, and he's I don't know if he's a real priest in the story.
Nope.
He's supposed to be a real priest, but I'm supposing that he's not, that he's Mossad.
He's Greek Orthodox.
And
He is also an Israeli actor, and he is also very, very sick. He died. This movie came out 86, so he died about a year after this, after the movie came
just
out.
like Lee Marvin.
Yeah, very well known, very well respected. He is the actor that they named the awards for film in this country. So his name is Shaike Ophir, and the award for, like, you know, best picture, best actor, that's the Ophir Award. It's named after him.
And by the way, I wanted to tell you a little story about Joey Bishop, who's in this. Joey used to be a member of the Rat Pack, and Frank Sinatra got really fucking angry at him and kicked him out of the Rat Pack because Joey Bishop in '64 demanded like a crazy. He wanted $50,000 and a private jet to take him to a lodge for a show. And when he demanded that of Frank Sinatra said no, and then kicked him out of the gang. And that's how Joey Bishop got blacklisted by the Frank Sinatra crowd. And it sucked because he used to be a regular with Dean Martin and all those guys. Not after that. Yeah, fucking Frank Sinatra was a fucking mean dude. Did the same thing to Peter Lawford. Because Peter Lawford was allowed in because he was married to a Kennedy. But when Kennedy rejected Frank Sinatra's offer for him to stay at the house because of his ties to the mob, he was so angry he went out with a sledgehammer and destroyed the concrete helicopter landing pad he had built just for Kennedy to land at his estate, and then kicked Peter Lawford. Lawford didn't do anything really. I think he just felt like he was caught off guard by it, and Lawford should have known, and felt that he withheld information from him. But he held grudges. People say John Wayne's got like the worst for holding grudges. Now Frank Sinatra had an even worse one. Those guys, those big stars of Hollywood, man, they had some grudges. So here we got a van and a cut V. And I think the only person here that knows what a cut V is 11 Alpha. And I love the Cut V. And all the Cut V is a it's a big Suburban that's military grade. In other words, it's got a shitty paint job. This is one of the biggest fuck ups in the writing, is that the order to take the plane by Delta Force would not have been given a green light before having gotten fresh intel from somebody that's coming off that plane. I see Frank Zappa is in the movie too.
What?
It's a joke.
Mephisto got it. Next time I'll say Arab Joe Pesci.
Next time, maybe.
You would have got the joke and you would have laughed.
Maybe. I mean, maybe you would have gotten the Joe Louis joke too.
Yeah, because I don't know what that is. It's from something.
It's from Made in America.
Oh, that's right. God, I don't like that movie though.
Oh, Gerry, do yourself a favor. Rewatch it with fresh eyes and be open. Because it's one of Eddie Murphy, the Eddie Murphy, John Landis collab that actually made you laugh hard.
Landis hated working with him.
Oh, yeah.
Hated working with. There he is. There's Kung Fu Joe right there. This guy was in a lot of.
He's an American ninja. He's a certified American ninja. He was in 1. He was in 2. He was in 3. Even when Michael Dudikoff left, he was in 4 and 5 and 6. He was in all of them.
Now, there's a guy that I never understood his career, Michael Dudikoff. I didn't think he was good at martial arts, and I didn't think that he could act worth a shit.
Yeah,
this guy can actually act. Kung Fu Joe's actually funny as hell when he wants to be.
Michael
and like
Dudikoff,
I said, he does this thing, man.
I was saying, Michael Dudikoff has a pretty face. In the 80s,
he's good looking. That's all he is.
In the 80s, can get away with a lot. Look at Rob Lowe.
So, like I was saying, Kung Fu Joe there does this thing. I swear to God that if somebody did this to me in the military, I'd be fucking with them later. Where a guy does something, turns and looks at him, he looks back at him and goes, winks at him and puts the thumbs up. Like, the fuck kind of what? It's such a weird scene in the movie when he did it. I was like, what the fuck? Then later I would have asked the guy, like, were you hitting on me? What was that? You coming on to me? What the fuck was the thumbs up and the wink? That's like, I'm not into that. So they pull up in this scene in separate vehicles. And one is disguised. Chuck Norris is in the disguised fuel truck. Well, it's not disguised. It's actually a fuel truck with fuel in it. I don't know why. Lee Marvin looks so decrepit here. God damn it.
Way too old to be out in the field, if you ask me.
Oh, yeah. Now, look, there are a lot of guys that serve into their 60s that don't look like that. But Lee Marvin was not in the right physical shape for this movie.
No.
And it's so weird seeing, because 11 Alpha, because I know that they didn't approve it until 2003. But a lot of us that wore our flags on our uniform wore it with the stars facing forward, which is the way your guidon does when they carry the flag. And that's been around, like Anima learned last night, since the Civil War. And that
they had the flag
represents the flag flowing towards the enemy, with the flag flowing backward. So therefore, if you today, now they have you can wear the patches on both shoulders, and if you do, they have a left arm and a right arm flag because they both have to be facing moving forward. But we had that too, and I was really surprised to see that didn't become a mandate until 2003. I'm like, wow.
That's when everybody was doing it. Yeah, that was interesting to learn.
Yeah, this is where he tells him, and then he's on there, you know, stop the op.
If there's no
And of course-
connection between him and the crew, there's something wrong with your gear.
Well, that's what happens. You actually hear Chuck Norris saying that they're going off comms, and I'm like, since when?
Yeah, there's no
Are
way.
you fucking kidding me?
No way.
This is just bad writing here. It was just the part that really this irked me the most. That number one. Number two is Chuck Norris going rogue. And yeah, it's his movie. He's got to do his thing. But no, come on, man.
How will you get down from there? Oh, this lovely rope that is stretched between the building and yourself? How will I get down from here? Oh,
By the
wait.
way,
Let me shoot my mini Uzi all the way down and destroy a fucking
That
outpost.
was almost comical.
because the Uzi is so well known for its range.
Oh my God.
Because they show Lee Marvin's character shoot. By the way, what was up with the cotton fields
I don't
around
know.
that airport?
I
'Cause
don't
I'm like,
know.
what the fuck was with those cotton fields? Like, why are they? I don't think they were real. Because like,
They existed.
well, I thought they were fake. That they were put there.
No.
But I'm like,
They
I'm like-
existed. Like all around the airport, there was farmland at one point.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's like I said, it's houses, and if it's not houses, it's probably a like an industrial zone. You know, not heavy industry, but offices, garages,
Yeah.
storage rooms, that sort of thing.
Again, this scene that they're showing right now is a huge nod to Navy diver Robert Dean Stetham, who was murdered in a similar method as this.
I love the fact that the dummy was bouncing.
It's a nasty bounce because it hits
the
hard.
noise that it made.
They added
Yeah,
that
it's-
noise. There's no way a movie, like you throw a doll from a moving plane, you can't hear it thump.
Yeah, it's
So-
like he shoots him down the neck into the body, then dumps him out the fucking door. He hits the ground fucking hard. And I thought the only thing that could really fucking make this worse is if they ran over him, and they managed not to run over him.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he goes splat.
I was like, oh. Yeah, because even if he had been shot, that would have killed him.
Yeah, because he went in head first.
Yep.
Also, that's quite a height. I mean, it's a couple meters.
Oh, yeah, that's 2 stories. And if you fall 2 stories on your head, there's a good chance you're not walking away from that.
Not with a bullet wound.
Yeah. No.
Add the bullet wound to it. Yeah.
I think he's dead, Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was that look.
I love the fact that that sentence, Israel is America's greatest friend, is a sentence I've heard since I was alive. It's hilarious how when it fits Israel, where Israel is America's greatest friend.
Middle East.
It's not a lie. We
That's
are,
him.
but
That's
it's,
him.
again, there's a difference between we know and we're publishing it to everyone.
So here's the funny part of this is now they're going to do the training for this operation because they find out that there are more guys on there, but still they should have done some training before going in.
This is straight out of Entebbe, because remember we discussed this, that they were training for hours and hours and hours and hours. They were up 36 hours straight until they went on the plane, and they barely got to sleep on the plane too.
At least that guy has barrel extension with a suppressor on his Uzi. So that'll
Yeah.
give you a little more accuracy.
Just a bit.
So I'm assuming Galil put. I'm assuming, and you tell me I'm right, if Galil put money into this.
I don't know. They probably had some sort of an agreement, but I want to stop for a second here because the guy they're talking to, the actor's name.
That's the one you brought up last time. You brought this up when we talked
He's
about
called
this. Yeah.
Asi Dayan. He played the second in command in the Israeli Entebbe movie.
Yeah, there he is right there.
He played Yoni Netanyahu's second in command, Mookie Betzer.
Yeah, one of your favorite names, not Netanyahu.
No. So it's a real kind of like, to be fair, I think Golan really wanted to tie both of them together in a way that if this shown in Israel, the Israeli crowd is going to be like, oh shit, it's that guy. Yeah. So having him being the intelligence officer is pretty, it's a nod. Let's just say that. Remember,
they would not.
It's an Israeli production.
They would not do the training. They would not do the training where people could see. No.
Oh no way.
That was a dead area, probably an old airline graveyard that they have over there in Israel.
No, that's at the airport.
They just have it blocked off somehow. And by the way, a lot of people don't realize that this guy here in the back seat with Forrester is the same guy from Tower Scene. And he's showing how he supports what they're doing by being involved directly with what they're doing. That's what I meant, Anima. There was no friendlies at that airport except to the bad guys.
Tower, no, but I thought somebody might have
at that airport. Period. Are you not understanding me? They're in an area friendly to them, not against them.
Yeah.
Period.
That whole bit about you can't land here. That whole bit about you can't land here was all for show. A lot of what happened in Beirut at the time, so 70s, early 80s, was a lot of like facade. They housed the biggest terrorists on the planet in Beirut. All the different factions that hated each other, but they hate each other, but they mostly hate America and Israel. So their shared hatred,
Yeah. I want to point out, you said a word that really triggered my brain, which is I want to create a character now who's a master of disguises, and his name is Mohammed Facade.
But if you didn't recognize this guy, he was in the pit. He was one of the guys in the pit in Dark Knight Rises. He was fatter.
Get the fuck out of here, really?
Yeah. I'll find a picture of him.
Oh, I gotta go watch that again. Hey, Marines, he made the news. Yeah, we're fucking Navy, asshole.
Let me see. What was his name?
This is a crazy scene because all of a sudden these reporters breach the gates, and the guy shoots down at them. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? It's a barrier. What are you doing? Hey, it's Frank Zappa again.
I got it. Hold on.
And this is an echo of that scene where they're in that what flight was that? where you saw the bad guy lean out the window.
Oh, I don't remember.
Cockpit. Huge one, because it was the first time we'd ever seen anything like that on national television.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know I have the picture in my head, but I don't remember the name of it. There were like 4 or 5 flights that happened, but that one was the most famous one, I guess.
Yeah.
And
here they come in pretending to be Canadians. I love this part.
Don't share it yet, okay? All right, go ahead. Yeah, see? The blind prisoner.
That's him.
Yep.
It is him.
That is the blind prisoner.
Wow.
Check that out. Crazy.
When I saw him, I was like, ooh, that's interesting. In a Christopher Nolan kind of production with lines.
Thanks, Tim. So that was the one that incident was the one with the famous shot of the pilot and the bad guy in the cockpit. Yeah, this priest.
No, that's the flight that this movie is based
death.
on, Gerry. The one that Tim's putting up here. That's the
Oh, I asked which one is the one. I asked for the one where the guy, the famous image of the pilot and the terrorist in the cockpit, and that was what he said after I said it. So I'm like, yeah, so that is it. Yes, it was brought up earlier. That's what this is loosely based on. Love that Spock haircut. Fits with the hat.
It's traditional Greek Orthodox, I think, right?
Yeah, that's what he's supposed to be. Greek Orthodox priest.
People forget Beirut was in essentially a civil war from 78, I think, 76 until roughly 87, I think, or 88.
This is the post he's referring to, Gerry.
Facade means
That's funny.
depravity.
So I would
apparently
Mohammed Facade. What do you do? I am a master of disguises, but I also love anal sex.
No, and I also fuck bitches.
Yeah, Tim, thank you, but I'm already
I like
at
goats.
maximum capacity with what I'm doing here, being Martin, so I'm not opening Facebook. That will make my laptop explode if I do that. But thank you.
I love it when they use wrong words. I catch people doing this all the time. This movie could be referred to as propagandistic.
Oh yeah,
it's not an exploitation film. It's they're completely different. Propaganda and exploitation are two different things. Exploitation is when you make a movie specifically about a culture to make money off of that culture.
It's
the opposite.
It's one of those movies that are very much Reagan era movies that you can say that it definitely served
pro-Israel, pro America.
Yeah,
and,
pro, very pro.
anti,
Yeah,
very anti-terrorist.
yeah. And
I
this,
guess there could be an argument for exploitation in the fact that it makes one culture look bad to boost another culture, but that's pushing it. To me, it's just simply
I mean,
propaganda.
they don't talk about. They really don't talk about the Lebanese people. You know what? There is a moment there which is actually true and never brought up. But again, this is very much in more of Israeli eyes rather than American eyes. The fact that Lebanon was dubbed the Paris of the Middle East. He says Las Vegas of the Middle East, but that's for that line is for an American audience. But it was known that Lebanon was the Paris of the Middle East because they had a lot of French-speaking Christians there. A lot. It was more akin to.
It was a party town.
It was more akin to like a Canadian place where they had both French and English at the same time, but Christians were a minority, and there was a revolution that happened in Iran, but it has nothing to do with that. But you get to see his face. Khomeini was there everywhere in this movie,
and they mention him in this film. I did want to point out that at one point it was kind of referred to as the Havana of the Middle East, because Havana used to be like a party town, a lot of not like crazy parties, but a lot of dinners and drinking
Not
parties
Havana,
where
Las
they would
Vegas,
get together.
Gerry.
No, I'm talking about Lebanon. Was referred to as the Havana of the Middle East. And,
same description, but it's essentially says the same thing. So very secular, very safe, a fun town, especially Beirut was a fun town. Lots of clubs, gambling. It was pretty much we'll call it a cosmopolitan kind of a city, a town. And then it went to shit.
This is interesting. Read that one, Matt.
Yeah, they call it Las Vegas
Allowed.
the Middle East in this movie.
Yes, that's a bit of why Israel has an issue with Lebanon, the state of Lebanon, not the terrorists. There is the fact that because their soldiers are from a different sect. This is just to keep the peace, because you have so many different factions in there. You've got Sunnis, you've got Shiites, you've got Christians, you've got Druze, which it's a different kind of a sect of Islam, but not really. So you've got all these different things pulling each other apart. And so they made some sort of agreement just to keep the peace. So the army is from this faction. The part of the statehood is this faction. So you just keep everybody in line. And the Hezbollah just threw everybody off balance because they basically do whatever they want, or at least they used to.
I do want to point something up about this scene. In 11 Alpha, I would like to get a response from you on this, because the vehicles are using now a lot of people don't know this, that military vehicles have lights that actually can change color depending on the situation. And the vehicles that they're using here have very low level blue lights. And I was a little thrown by that, because I would assume that if you're going to be driving with that kind of light on your vehicle, you would be with such a low light, you would be using their version, which I think version 7 of the night vision goggles were out by the time they made this film. But they're driving without them, with blue lights, low level blue lights, and I'm like, you're not going to see shit with your eyes. I thought that was really weird. Am I reading that wrong, Alpha? You tell me. Because I thought it was odd that nobody has any nods on, and they're driving around with those very low beamed lights that are blue.
I've never been in special forces, but I don't think they would have that sort of light. Maybe it's it's like a long time era thing, but you know,
I don't know. I've never seen low level lights like that used. See them? They're not really shining on anything. Yeah, because like I know that we use red in the military for our vehicles, inside our vehicles, because you can walk right out into the night and the red light won't impact your cones, pawns and cones. So you can walk out into the night and it doesn't impact you. Red light's easy on the eyes. But blue light usually is like, it makes me think UV or something like that. I know that military vehicles, especially kind of vehicles they're using, you can change the color of the light as you go. There's a switch for changing the light colors. And I'm thinking that they should be driving around with nods on, which would be how they would be driving in this situation. It would be driving with their nods on, which of course impacts your depth perception. So you got to be really careful driving vehicles in a group. Fucking hit somebody in front of you. Fairly easy. Because of depth, there's no depth perception with those nods. I like to say that they got smart when they built the panoramic nods. It's still not three-dimensional. It's still two-dimensional. It's just panoramic, gives you a wider field of vision. It's up quickly. This has one of the most fucking hilarious scenes in it, though. I laughed so fucking hard. I even got Anima laughing when I was describing the insanity of the scene, where they're like, the Americans are here. They're here. They're killing us.
Oh, yeah.
Start killing them. You don't understand. They're murdering us. They're killing us all. Okay, well, I will be there in 5 minutes. They're here now.
That scene is funny and it shouldn't be.
I double checked.
Hilarious.
He says there are thousands of them.
Yeah, thousands.
He says there are thousands of them.
Yeah, it's like there's probably about 30 of them at the most. It's like there are thousands. Well, it's because they fight like 1,000 guys.
Yeah. Probably.
Here we go. Not just depth, also with the vision. Yeah, because you've got lack of it. That's why those new, you've all seen them, the multi-lens night vision that got made famous because of the Bin Laden raid. They're not three-dimensional. They're still two-dimensional. They're panoramic, though. They give you a wider field of vision, and you want that.
Yeah, but that's the older version. I don't know if in '86 they had such great night vision goggles.
Oh, in the 80s, they were into Generation 7 at this point. And because night vision, a lot of people don't know this. I think it was called Starlight. Was the original
Starlight,
version.
yeah.
And that was in the 60s. And it just kind of grew from there to how well it was done. When they show night vision in this film, though, I swear to God, I don't think there's a real nods. I think that they did the same thing that they did in Ghostbusters and used like industrial goggles and just put lenses on the front. I think that's all they did. And then what they do is when you see their POV with the night vision on, they did daytime shots. It looks just like daytime. Is all it is, and it's not what it looks like. It's funny.
You know what's weird? I know what that generation night vision looks like having it on, but it kind of looks like late 90s when I was like into like getting into the army. That was the night vision you got in the late 90s.
Yeah. The night vision we had, I got to tell you, I was not a fan. I did not like wearing it. I did not like wearing them. I couldn't get comfortable with them. I kept wanting to take him up to see what was really going on. And then you take him up and it's like, oh shit, I can't see. Put him back on.
Yeah.
I did not like them. Also, that scene annoyed me too, because they get right up on shore before going scuba. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And a light almost hits them.
Way
And actually, part of the light does hit them. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Who the fuck does that? Nobody goes scuba that close to shore.
One more thing. What the fuck are they using bright yellow tanks?
Yellow tanks.
Yeah.
Right?
Yellow tanks? Are you serious?
Yeah, don't worry about getting subdued tanks. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yeah.
They do a lot of stupid shit in this movie. I mean, pulling the pin of a grenade with your teeth, they do it twice.
Yeah, two guys, you can't do that. If you know anything about fucking the steel, those are steel pins. That's bent steel on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's hard enough to do it with a finger because sometimes it feels like you just tore into your finger pulling them out. Yeah, bright yellow fucking scuba mask and oh god damn. They did.
Sticks out like a sore thumb.
You know why it's yellow? Because if you have them on and it's black or blackened, it doesn't look good on camera. Even with you can see all the lights, right? It's insane. By the way, that manhole straight out of I have one in the street. Like it looks
first of all, that's another one.
like that.
Okay, I'm going to tell you something. That they show the manhole covers, and they're solid concrete with rivets in them, bolts in them. And then you cut away for a moment, and then it cuts back to one of the manhole covers. It's now a completely different manhole cover. It's got metal grates in it. And I'm like, did you not have a continuity person on this show?
They did not. I told you. Chuck Norris's shoes change. Stuff gets shot, and in the next shot, it's unshot again.
Do you want me to blow your mind? Okay. So at the very end bit, we kind of talked about it, where the black dude, the American Ninja, saves the Jews from the grenade.
Right.
There's a moment where they cut to Lee Marvin and Chuck Norris asking where he is, and they're standing in a truck right next to where he was. They take 3 steps and they're at that like a bunker or whatever it is. It's so funny. It is so funny. They're right there. Where is he? What happened to him? Oh, he's right here, 3 steps from us. It's a joke, but it's fun.
Okay, so here it is. Craig Chili Palmer, who has an extensive experience in as an U.S. Army Ranger, serves as military technical advisor for the production of the extraction for the film Delta Force, 1986. And there was another guy, I think his name was Menahem, that worked as a technical advisor on the film too.
You
also
said
with military experience.
Wait. You said Chili Palmer was an advisor on this movie?
Yes. That is who the character was named after in Get Shorty. And he's in the movie. Remember the scene when Chili and his buddy are sitting at the table at the beginning?
Yeah.
And the guy walks up. The guy to his right that laughs when he makes the joke about his name, Chili Palmer. It's Chili inside, it's Chili, or it's Chili outside, it's Chili inside. And he laughs. That guy that laughs is the real Chili Palmer.
All right.
He's a real dude. That's just
movie
a little bit of
making.
trivia I gave when we did Get Shorty. I talked about it at the beginning of the film. That's the real Chili Palmer that Elmore Leonard named the character after.
See where Lee Marvin is? It's right next to that bunker they just went into. He was right there. He should have seen the grenade explode. But whatever,
Yeah.
They do have a goofy. There's some goofy shit in this movie. There really is.
Oh man, there's lots
Um,
of goofy shit in this movie. I mean, I
he
don't
takes
care.
the,
I kid about it and laugh about it, but it's a fun movie. It's a really fun popcorn
There we
movie.
go. Here he is. Here it is. These are day shots.
Yes, day
It's
shots.
supposed to be night vision. No,
For sure.
They also do day for night shooting. Like when you see the Pentagon and it says 2 a.m. and there's clearly sunlight. You can tell by the shadows. I fucking hate that. I know it's the 80s, but it just looks bad.
It's not realistic at all, but there are some moments in it with some real military stuff happening if you're paying attention and you go, oh, because I do that a couple times. Oh, did you see that? That's really cool that's in there. The rest of it's insane, but that was really cool right there.
The breach was interesting because I've never seen a breach from under the floor. They go into
The Rock
you
did
know
it.
that Vindicated, he's constantly doing what's referred to as mouse holes, where he's like, I'm drawing a scene right now where he knows the guys inside of this room know he's there. And he's like, and he's talking to himself. He's like, I could throw a flashbang in, but they could start firing blindly and still hit me because there's only one door for me to come in. So that's not a smart thing to do. Oh, here he goes. This is it right here. Don't shout. Yeah. Don't shout.
Yeah.
The dude is
but then he's like, and then he contemplates, well, I could throw a frag into the room, but I wouldn't trust these walls to protect me from the grenade, the fragmentations of the grenade. And so he says, there's only one option here, is make my own door. So he blows a hole through the wall and startles them, and he comes in sideways, flanks them, and just kills all three of them instantly. And I like
blows a hole.
Like
he blows a hole, and then he grabs them by the shoulder, and you're under arrest.
Come with me, or there will be trouble.
Trouble.
So
but they make their own door here too.
Here it is, right here. Who's there? The Americans. You must kill all the Americans. They're killing us. It's so
there's thousands of them.
And Chuck Norris is listening to this conversation, and
oh
it's
my
a funny
God.
scene because I thought it'd be funnier if he had actually done something to react to this guy saying what he said and then shoot him. But no, he has to kick him because he's Chuck Norris. So he kicks the guy out of the seat, and then the guy's like, "Are you there? Are you there?" And he realizes, oh, he's gone. He goes, "American? Are you there? We would like to negotiate."
And he said, "I hear you loud and clear." That
do you hear me? Do you hear
Send
me?
someone to negotiate.
Loud and clear. Could you imagine Arnold playing this part?
Yes.
And Arnold turned this movie down, from what I understood in the casting. That he felt it was too corny. Did Commando, and this movie was too corny.
Oh, he did Commando to one up fucking Stallone.
It's all about the kill ratio. It was.
Yeah.
Because he needed to kill more than Stallone.
He had to. I mean, he barely got 4 kills in The Terminator. Then Stallone comes in with that massive body count in Rambo 2.
Oh, yeah.
The one thing I got to say about Terminator is I think he got more kills than what they show, because he's invading that police station scene. A lot more were probably killed in that scene. We know he killed Frank Black.
I think in T2, I think they actually say the numbers in T2. It's like, oh, we've got they kind of they have the pictures from him in the mall. There's this bystander that takes a picture of him when he got thrusted out of the window, out of the bay window, and those pictures got into the hands of the police, and they were like, oh, this is the guy from 1984 that shot up this police precinct and killed, I don't remember the number, but they say the number of cops that he actually killed in that raid.
Yeah, Hot Shots Part 2. I love that
Yeah,
movie.
Hot Shots Part 2 had the actual kill count.
Yeah.
It was hilarious. That's why that movie worked. I
It
think
was the
it worked
concept of
better.
having a kill count that was funny. Yeah.
I think it worked
By the way,
better
this is one of my
than
favorite
Hot
lines in the
Shots.
movie right here. I like
Hmm?
this line.
Not a local hospital.
He said, "We got to get you to the hospital, not a local hospital, I hope."
That's straight out of Entebbe. Because they left one in a local hospital.
Yeah, that's right.
I
Who
thought
they
you would
did execute later.
I thought you would
Yeah.
say something about it, but yeah, never mind. I got it. Gerry.
It's so tragic though.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know.
She was left in that hospital, and not only did she get killed, any doctors who tried to defend her and staff were executed as well.
That's horrible.
Idi
they're all
Amin.
buried
What a
in
lovely guy.
They were all buried in one grave, all of them.
Such
By
a
the way, I love
decent
Commando.
human
I
being.
do love that movie. It's got
Me
some
too.
great fucking lines in that movie. Hey Bennett, let off some steam.
Have we watched it?
Major, you said you would let me go. I lied, and he lets him
I
go.
lied. I lied.
But he does let him go.
We have that clip somewhere. Can you find it, Gerry?
Oh no, he says you won't kill me, and I lied.
Yeah, it's
I'm trying
not
to
in
remember
here.
whether we watched it.
Oh, you've seen it with me. One of my favorite lines in that movie is like, he says, "I was a Green Beret," and he goes, "We ate Green Berets for breakfast." I'm like, that's
Yeah.
not something you brag about.
No, you shouldn't.
Now there is, if you go to Internet Movie Database, they say that Kevin Dillon is in this, and so far they've managed to keep it off IMDb. That Liam Neeson is in this. No, neither of them are in this fucking movie. The guy that they think is Kevin Dillon is not fucking Kevin Dillon. He's less ugly than Kevin Dillon. And the dude that they think is Liam Neeson doesn't look anything like Liam Neeson. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you people? Kevin Dillon had already been in Platoon, and the next year did The Blob. You know, he was already established. Didn't need to be a bit part in this fucking movie. Where did they take the Americans? How are you going to get an answer with the barrel in his mouth?
Yeah, I was like, how is he supposed to talk? And Gerry said, yeah, if he doesn't want to die, he'll learn.
There it is again. That was the line right there where they bring up the Ayatollah again as supporting what they're doing.
Yeah, like I said, his picture is everywhere. It's subtle, but it's there. So they did a good job dressing up this probably a very low class town.
They went to the closest thing to a ghetto there and shot there.
I think I know where it is. I just need to double check. If it's that important, I will. But it's one of the Palestinian towns.
Here's a question
Now,
for you, Gerry.
now it's a little bit bigger, but
as far as films go, God, it's hard for me to narrow it down to just one film. If I have to narrow it down, it would be Point Blank as for a film. And a lot of people don't know this. He starred on a TV series for I think CBS called M Squad, which was like a grittier version of Dragnet. And it's a pretty good show. I watch it. I've seen every episode. Love it. 3 seasons. But as far as movies goes, I would say I have to go with Point Blank is probably my favorite film with him
Porter.
as Porter.
Look who's here.
Canadian Spider-Man, my
Canadian
brother.
Spider-Man.
How are you doing?
That motorcycle is a thing of legends.
Yep. Fucking mortars on the
Where the
fucking
fuck
back
did he
and
get
rockets on the front. Prop maker.
If he built that himself, he went MacGyver.
I bet you there are a lot of guys going,
That's
I wonder if we could do that. Could we put rockets on there?
Yeah, sure. I love that his son did the stunts. That's nice.
His son is his stunt double in it.
That's just perfect.
Because he does a couple of scenes himself on the bike. Because he's the one who got his son into motorcycles. Because he and Steve McQueen were friends. And Steve McQueen's son and Chuck Norris's son were friends. Because they both did motocross.
Isn't Steve McQueen's son the guy from Karate Kid playing Dutch?
No, wait. His name is Chad McQueen.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's his actual son, but I know his name is McQueen. I can check. Don't worry about it.
I'm looking for it right now. Chad McQueen looks a lot like his dad. It's so funky. He looks like his dad if he gained a little. If Steve McQueen had been a little heavier in the face.
Yeah, it's his son.
Yep,
Chadwick McQueen.
Yep, he played Dutch. Yeah, he's an actor and stuntman. And then if you look up Aaron Norris, Aaron spelled Aaron, Norris. He's been involved with stuff years with him. And maybe it's not Aaron that does the stunts, though. He's more on the production side. I'll have to look it up later. I forget which son. Smoking.
Yeah, that'll kill you early.
An MAG is actually a Belgian machine gun, modified.
That guy right there is the one that they're trying to say is Liam Neeson, the one on the center there, and that's supposedly Kevin Dillon. I'm like, that's not.
That's not Kevin Dillon.
He's not ugly enough to be Kevin Dillon.
Gerry pulled up photos of both guys, and we watched them, looked at them like next to each other, and it's not the guy.
And by the way, Anima's like, what is that uniform thing they're wearing there? And I'm like, what? She goes, the white ribbon around them. And I went, that's rope. What is it? And is it part of the uniform? No, they carry rope with them everywhere they go because you never know when you're going to need a rope.
I didn't catch that it's just the rope that they're wearing. I thought it was a different.
And that is not a can of water on his chest. It's a smoke grenade.
It's a smoke grenade. It's a red smoke grenade.
That I know.
Yeah, it's got the red. That's right. It's got the red band on it.
You know, the Israeli version is green with yellow bands, red bands, blue bands.
Anima was triggered by these curtains.
I hate them.
Well, they used to be very prevalent over here because you don't need it. The thing you have to realize, we're a pretty hot country most of the year. You don't actually want doors to block the wind because that's your only air conditioning, especially back then. So, yeah.
I love this. He watches them leave and he goes, finally cleared. He looks out the door and there's Chuck Norris waiting for him.
And he's going around the house in his motorbike, so you cannot see me anymore, but I'm still here. I'm still here.
Oh, not yet. That's after. Because then he's like, looks around like, now he's looking for him. Like, where did he go? Where did he go? He's coming through the window, motherfucker.
And in the background, you can hear the TV. And I was like, I'm even thankful for the Arabian yodeling because it's not the stupid music of this movie.
It's not Arabian yodeling.
Whatever it is.
It's Arabian music, but it's Arabian music that for belly dancers.
Something like that. I don't really like that, but it was so much better than the score of this movie.
Yeah.
That was
Belly
really good.
dancers got phased out at one point just because of how Islam is these days. Even the moderates.
I do plan on covering this film at some point because this was the end of studio movie making, quality films. Papillon is the last one. And because Josh Becker and I talked about this one day, because if you pay attention to the history of Hollywood, once the advent of the summer blockbuster came, it got even worse. But quality Hollywood filmmaking ended in '73 with Papillon. And I love that movie. Yeah, you can actually call Robert Forrester in this Arab Tom Selleck. That mustache.
Arab Tom Selleck.
Should I say what name you gave to the belly dancing that's shown on TV at one point?
Oh God, what did I say? I forgot. What did I say?
You said it's Muslim porn.
Oh,
essentially, yeah. That's why it's sort of got phased out or banned, or I don't know what happened. I used to see it a lot now, and then at one point it was like it's phased out. Maybe porn took over.
This is a great moment right here, where he pulls away and looks back at him, and he gets in that car and he grabs his AK and because his one arm's fucked up, so he can only have one arm. So he sets it there, reaches down to grab the pistol grip, and then out of the back door, Chuck Norris blows him up with a single mortar round or whatever the fuck that was supposed to be.
Hi, Nats.
Hi, Nads.
Now, I bet you Nadia has never seen this movie.
I'm never shocked by her. She will just suddenly say, yes, I've seen it. Given in the UK, the police are recommending people not walk their dogs lest they offend. Oh, I know. I'm tired of this shit. They have lost their fucking mind.
I think Europeans are getting tired of this shit, but it'll take them a long while until they get to turn the tide.
So this is that weird scene, because the first time I saw this, I saw it on VHS. I didn't see this one in the theater. And I'm like, is that supposed to be a poppy field? What the fuck is that? And then
no, it's a cotton field.
When I saw it in HD, I was like, that's cotton. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. Dude, you don't understand. Like, the security in the airport is super tight in Israel, but it's just the airport. But there used to be those fields in there. That fence is not a real fence. They just they put it up inside that field. You know how I know? You've got cotton on one side of the fence and then on the other side of the fence too. That's unreasonable. No farmer would have a fence in the middle of their field. It's no way. It's just a patch.
We talked about this earlier too, Gambit.
It's just a patch. I think it was north to the airfield. And even in this shot, you can actually tell at the top left corner that there's green fields in there. See, that's farmland.
You can see it in the background right there.
Yeah, because I don't know if these shots were actually done in the airport. It could have been there's like small airport north of Tel Aviv. It's for like Cessnas and stuff and for helicopters. And there's one in Haifa where they shot the boats, the sea things. The sea shots, not sea things. Sorry.
No problem. So this is the big action scene, final action scene. Lee Marvin and the team are there with the hostages to get out. Here we see the Delta operator almost does it right. They're on the rooftop killing that guy. But this is actually I like this scene. They just smoke these guys real quick. And then they get up on this guy and they're like, how many are in there? He goes, no, really. How many are in there? Just one, I swear to God. I swear to Allah.
Come from the mountain. Because if
then he kills Frank Zappa. Poor Frank Zappa.
Because there's a saying, Muhammad doesn't go to the mountain will arrive to Muhammad.
Yeah.
It's a saying. So they literally, that's what they did with that whole password thing. It's hilarious.
I do like this scene when he goes into the cockpit because it looks like he's about to smoke somebody, and it's actually the crew that are supposed to be in there, so he doesn't kill anybody, thank God. But this is a great scene. It's like, you got enough fuel to get us to Israel? Hell yeah, I do.
They are so happy to get out of there. And then he asks the captain, is there anything you need? Yeah, the runway, because it's full of cars and shit. I like it when the guy in the tower goes crazy because they just go ahead and start. He's like, they are made, they're mad, they are crazy. And of course, who is late to the party? Chuck Norris.
Now, of course, if anybody that looked at that previous shot there that has dyslexia, they would read TWA.
Yeah.
If you've got dyslexia, that's TWA.
I'm telling you, this is not Ben Gurion. This is not the main port. This is like a side place. It really, because look, there's way too much farmland around it.
It's what they officially tell us, that it's shot there in Ben Gurion.
I think only when the plane actually takes off and lands, or it's on the very, very side place where they can isolate them. And then, yeah, there were farmlands there. Used to be. Now it's not. Now it's all claimed by roads and, buildings.
They just put the wounded soldier in first class.
I always enjoyed that movie, guys.
What, Bachelor Party?
Not great. Bachelor Party is a fun film. When the dude makes out with the chick and then the chick goes to the bathroom and stands up and pees in the toilet. That's a joke you couldn't do today.
You can.
Get canceled for it. That's an M113 right there.
Yeah. I was in charge of that for about 15 years.
I had my first ambulance was an M113. Hated it.
I was so afraid we'll go to war and I'll be on top of one of these because I was supposed to be with my head out all the time. And
that's what I got knocked off of.
That's
what I got knocked off of by that fighter jet.
Yeah, because you were stupid and sitting up there with your food.
I nearly capsized one because my driver couldn't hear me. It was not fun. Not fun
so
at
now
all.
We get another bike stunt here, and where he's going to do some surfing on a dirt bike, get up into the jet fighter.
You could tell, by the way, that plane is not moving very, very fast because he went past the plane, turned around, and started moving. Now, even if it was a stunt guy, there is no way that those engines would have worked anywhere close to being that hard to actually take off because as soon as he went past the plane and turned around, he would have been blown off.
And then once he's on board,
I
he
think
starts
that
surprisingly
to
fast.
get up, you got to drive over 120 miles an hour. For
Yeah, they get to that speed like within
jetliner.
half a minute after he's on board. That was weird.
Oh, Korea. It's west of the airport that still has a lot of farmland around it. So that's where they shot it. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Alpha.
Apparently.
Now, Anima's like, where did they get the beers from? I said, they're military. They have beer.
Yeah, they will.
We don't have beer in our military. It's not allowed.
Our guys still were able to get a hold of
They are
booze in a
American
dry
military.
country. That's all I got to say. We still got a hold of booze.
Oh, you can get booze, but you can't like. Can you get booze like in the military base?
Yeah, you can sneak it in.
No, but is it being sold?
The way we got it through the black market.
Oh,
And,
okay. So it's just like us.
I
it's
made a
not sold
deal
in
with
concession.
MPs. I made a deal with MPs to hook me up for some booze, and in exchange, they got to go to a place where they could meet the females in our medical unit, and no guarantees. Just you can go there and meet them.
Well, you should also say that you
Up to
needed
you.
the booze because you were a medic, and when you get an alcoholic and he has to go dry from one day to the other, that's not good.
Yeah.
You need
Oh, we
booze
had a
for
ton
that.
of alcoholics, man. That's why I got it. Was so I could water it down and
Yeah.
wean them. So, but anyway, back to the movie. George
Yep.
Kennedy, fucking great actor. Got relegated to comedies at the end of his career.
I liked him in that comedic role, man. I really do. I know he's a serious actor and he's done some like Cool Hand Luke.
He took over as the captain.
Yeah.
Because in Police Squad it was a different actor, and then when they did the movies, it was George Kennedy.
I loved him as the captain, sort of like captain and friend of Frank Drebin. I don't remember his name, but yeah.
And they
I still
celebrate
think
when
it's
it
funny
looks like
that
the kid just died.
I still think it's funny that Anima thought that was like a special uniform with the rope around it, like there was a dress or something.
I was tired, okay?
Yeah, this medic never gives good news ever.
Yeah. He's always
He's-
this diver is dead. This
Yeah, he's
Delta Force guy is dead.
Boy. Yeah, he's dead. Sorry, he's not going to make it. You suck at
It's
your
one of
job,
the many
man.
parallels
That's all I
with
got to say.
Entebbe. One soldier dies. And you can
Well-
tell the situation is bad because they have the priest already in there before the kid is dead. So
The whole point is this is just like in Entebbe, where like one of the main guys who was like top of point blank and point guy just gets taken out.
Yes, that's the problem that we had there. So
Well, in training, I don't know how you guys do it. In training, second and third in command are trained as if they're first. So if like your head guy goes down, there's still two guys that can lead the force out or in, essentially.
yeah, there's always everybody is trained to move up if something happens. I love that in the Marine Corps and in the Army, they train machine gunners. That if the machine gunner himself gets nailed, his number two guy rolls over him, rolls back, moves him out of the way, and then rolls back up to the machine gun and takes over fire. It's a move that you're trained to do.
That's the actual airport. A, you can see it, but yeah, B, and it's a place where you can actually take the whole day in filming, and you can still land planes that day.
This ending is so much better than Heartbreak Ridge. I got so angry at the ending because the tragic character got killed in the fight, and it's like they completely forgot about it at the end of the movie as they're getting off the plane. It's like, you have a dead guy to deal with. What are you fucking talking about? Like laughing and like so happy to. Oh, that pissed me off.
I mean, to be fair, the people who were not the soldiers were happy because their, family members got released or, rescued.
Yeah, but it should have been a somber ending. It should have been a more somber ending. And it bothered me to death.
Again, that's actually a very Israeli thing to do. We mix our joy and our sadness together, to be fair.
Well, I don't think this film had that problem. I'm talking about Heartbreak Ridge.
Oh, okay.
I did not like that. This one's a little more somber, treated more with a little bit of reverence because he fucking died, and they show people so grateful. And, whereas the end of Heartbreak Ridge, they're like show up at the airport and they completely forgot Profile fucking got killed. Yeah, I got to tell you something, man. I've got the sensitivity to dairy now, and sometimes I've had a few cathartic releases. That's all I got to say.
I had a cathartic release last night. I ate too much beans, though. Man, Gerry missed the
The Untouchables.
Gerry, I had a cathartic release last night, but that's because I ate a lot of beans.
Yeah, there you go. Same thing. Same thing. No, I was trying to figure out the Billy Drago comment.
Oh, okay.
Drago, yes, I knew there was something. So then I'm going back to see what Gambit was talking about. Yeah, Billy Drago is, Al Capone's
second
number one.
Yeah, assassin type deal.
One of his capos. And in reality, he did not get killed like that. He died actually of normal death. No, he became the guy in charge of the Chicago family there, because when Capone got sent to prison, and he already had syphilis, didn't know it, untreated, and that's what slowly killed him. Al Capone.
I don't remember if he died in prison or they released him in a month. He was
free. He was free,
like a month or two after he died, something like that. Yeah. If I'm not
mistaken.
They
even made a movie about it. Why they did, I don't know. With Tom Hardy, and it's terrible. Tom Hardy could not save that movie. It's just badly written. Of him losing his mind at the end from the syphilis as he is at the home.
Tom Hardy needs to play more like Jewish gangsters.
Oh,
he's great in that show.
I love him in Peaky Blinders. I changed my mind completely about Tom Hardy after I watched that show. I did not like most of the stuff he did. I liked him in Warrior. I liked him in Rock and Rolla, although he doesn't really have a lot of parts. It's sort of a bit part. And only when I rewatched
why he is. Guy Ritchie makes this series now called
Mobland.
Mobland, and it's really fucking good.
Oh, Mobland is his?
Mob.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to watch this because everybody's talking about this.
We are so.
It was originally a spinoff of Liev Schreiber's TV series.
Ray Donovan?
Ray Donovan. It was about the Donovans. And then Guy Ritchie got involved, and then he started looking at it and goes, really, I need to make this my own thing. Where I've got an idea for this that will work. And he took it away from being a Donovan spinoff to being its own thing. And I'm telling you, it's a really good show. And he plays a fixer in the movie or in the show.
Tom Hardy?
Does.
Yeah.
Oh man, I've marked that to like download and watch with my wife because I don't think we can get it over here. Is it?
Get caught up with it, and we might talk about it sometime.
Is that
I think it's a really
Amazon?
good show. No, I think that's Apple or it's Netflix. One or the
Apple?
other.
No, Netflix. No way, it's Netflix. I can check. The problem with Netflix sometimes is we usually when it's a show by Netflix, it's no problem. We can get it. But if it's something that they acquired, we probably have to wait until it gets to the rotation because it's all about all about rights. They probably sell it to like the cable company first, and then it goes several hands, and then finally they released it on Netflix.
It's on Paramount.
Yeah,
It's on
It's on
Paramount.
then, and yeah, I'll have to get someone to give me the password.
We are 8 episodes in, 2 more to come, and not one has been a filler or dragging it out. It's just, it's so.
Well, that's
intense the whole
great.
time.
That's great.
And
I mean,
we're loving it. I'm enjoying the crap out of it.
Oh, yeah.
The era of making serious TV shows that have like an actual hour-long episode that you can tell a lot of story with and do it in 10 episodes. People are like, well, why is there just 10 episodes? Dude, they used to be 20 in a season, but a half an hour show. You don't want this to be half an hour. You'll be like pulling teeth to finish the fucking show.
Well, it's like we also started watching Murderbot, and I think that I don't like the fact that the episodes are only 25 minutes long.
30 minutes. They're half an hour.
The first episode was 25.
Really? The second one was half an hour that we watched last night. I didn't get into it in the first episode, but with the second, I'm hooked on this now. It's funny as hell.
I love his monologues inside his head.
Oh, yeah.
They just crack me up.
You hear the dialogue of the other guys, and he's just commenting in his head.
And Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Yeah, I like that film too. It's not like on my top 10 list. It's probably on my top 100 list, but I do like that film, Who Framed Roger Rabbit.
No, Gambit. I was saying that if you get 10 episodes of 1 hour, and it's usually is 1 hour plus, at least in Peaky Blinders, it's an hour and change sometimes. You have to remember, an hour of TV is what, 42-ish minutes? So you don't get 20 episodes from 10, you get 17-ish. But like,
so
TNG,
yeah, what you're talking about is what I complain about, because the problem I have with these shows, and they call them limited series, where they'll do a half hour, but you only get like 8 episodes or 9 episodes. I went, yeah, that's getting lazy. You're just being lazy and chintzy. And some idiot tried to go, well, you do so many shows that, you get filler writing, not good writing. I said, let me tell you something. Star Trek's one of the shows you're talking about that were an hour long, and yet we still got close to 30 episodes. But some of those episodes weren't great. I said, yeah, they weren't great, but they were still good. And on top of that, you get character development with them. That's how you get fans, is with those characters. And Star Trek became so popular with fans, even because of some of the not so great episodes. So fuck that as an excuse. I really think that's a pussy move when studios do that shit.
If you want to go with filler episodes and with a show that had a lot of episodes, complete season 22 to 23. Not every season was exactly that.
I think 22 to 23 is good.
Was Stargate SG-1.
Which
SG-1,
I liked every episode, like Star Trek. Every episode.
SG-1, every season had between 6 to 8, depending on which season, of complete filler episodes. But each and every single one of those episodes is exactly what Gerry said, is focuses on one character and develops their stories. Now, in some of the instances, what happened is they made an episode that was quote unquote filler, and it was essentially a throwaway episode. But what you didn't realize is the next couple of seasons, they used a character from that filler episode and developed it into something else. So let me give you an example. There's a filler episode where there's an alien on Earth who hides from other aliens of his kind. And he looks like a dorky guy. He works as a writer and all that stuff. And there's a big development in that. Then 2 seasons later, he becomes a writer of a show called Wormhole Extreme, which is essentially SG-1, but it's a way to cover the fact that SG-1 exists, because now that alien works with the Air Force. It's something that you wouldn't even think about doing. And both those episodes are essentially fillers, but for a reason. The Wormhole Extreme episode is actually the 100 episode. Yeah, I think so. The 100 episode. So it's not only a filler and a continuation of a story, but it's also meant to celebrate the entire crew and staff of SG-1. And I'm talking about the people behind the scenes.
Yeah, I loved Stargate SG-1. Even though I'm a fan of the original film and was upset that they did what they did, I started watching that show pretty quickly and was hooked. And I was not as big a fan of Atlantis.
That's my favorite.
But I did see the first season of it and enjoyed it. But I like the SG-1 group. And then when both of them were done and we got that third series,
Universe.
I didn't like it. It was too dark.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first.
Behind.
But I did a full watch. Like you start SG-1, and at a certain point you watch SG-1 and Atlantis back to back, because for 1 or 2 seasons they go back to back, and then I just watched Universe after that, and it works. You need to give it a chance, and it's sad that it ended the way it ended.
I agree. So Tom, I've talked about it before doing that movie. It's a good film, great film. Attack. It's Attack with an exclamation point. It's a film with Lee Marvin.
It's on the list.
It is. It's on the list. Lee Marvin's in it. Hold on, I'm trying to remember the name. Jack Palance is in it. Eddie Albert's in it. It's a great war film. And yeah, it is on our list, dude. We will eventually get our way around to it. There's a lot of movies, dude.
Case in point, are we ending the show? Because I really need to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, because I want to make sure everybody said what they needed to say. I think we got there. And I do. I need to go drain the main vein too, because I drank an entire bottle during the show and a half. I drank
2 of these during the show.
Yeah, it's a lot of fluids. So,
yeah, that's about a liter.
I got to tell you, I do like to go to the bathroom.
Allegedly.
So,
right, let's end the show.
Yeah,
go subscribe to my channel, watch the reviews, blah blah blah. Enjoy.
Share the link to your channel, because I don't have it. That's what Mark usually does.
Just write Mephisto. I'm the only guy.
Yeah, that's Meph is toe, TOE. So you can't fuck it up. 2 F's. So let's see. I want to thank everybody.
And here it is.
Tim. Yeah, big toe. I want to thank Tim. I want to thank Snort. I want to thank Gambit. I want to thank Wade, Tom Baker, Zacharot, 11 Alpha, Vinyl Revival. That's my buddy Chris. Eastland Burkholder, Sandra Hammerschlag, Penny. Canadian Spider-Man dropped in, man. And Nance, I would also thank everybody who wished me a happy birthday. I deeply appreciate it. I'm officially 61 today. And I don't feel 61, except when I wake up.
Yeah, then you feel
that's when I feel
right?
old. I've hit that point in my life where I hurt worse when I wake up than when I went to bed. And I dislike it. I will never do Delta Force 2. Never seen it.
Barely a movie. Don't watch it. Barely a
Uh,
movie.
Also, there's another good film that's on the list, The Story of G.I. Joe. Because what's sad about that movie is Ernie Pyle was still alive when they were making it and died after it was done. So it's a great dedication to him and what he did. So anyway, you guys have a great day today. We will see you guys later. And don't forget, tonight is I'm on with Don Ecker over on KGRA. If you guys want to show up, it's always fun. We're going to be talking with Chris DiPerno, and I'm not sure if it's going to be about what it's going to be about. I got to be honest, because Don's holding it close to his breast, so I don't know. And, what I have to do is I just have to be funny. That's my job. I'm his sidekick. I'm his Ed McMahon.
Comic relief.
So we are out of here, guys. Everybody have a great Monday, and the chief will be back tomorrow, and
No,
so
he
will
won't.
Martin. Martin, as I
think
said,
they
had
don't
to
have a
leave
show
today
tomorrow, Gerry.
to go have his. He needed to have a Brazilian waxing done.
Stop talking nonsense. And he said yesterday that he doesn't have a show with the chief tomorrow.
Oh, okay. So no show tomorrow. Okay. So you'll see us Wednesday. We'll be back Wednesday. I'll see you guys later. Have a great Monday.